Hello. Hello to everyone watching the stream. Am I gonna get a microphone or is this my microphone? Okay, so I guess I'll just be chilling like this. Let's see if my clicker is working. That's nice. So thanks everybody who came here, who's interested in XR, in immersive technologies, and everybody who doesn't like a good old nap in the morning. So thing is, there's a very popular thing starting to emerge, and it's called Metaverse. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's buzzing. It's like a buzzword that's all around everywhere. And I'm about to explain it. What Metaverse is, what it means, what are people saying when they mean Metaverse, and how with virtual reality and with blockchain technologies, it's going to shape the future of the internet. It's going to make internet obsolete, and it's going to be changed by the Metaverse. So, first of all, I would like to begin by addressing the virtual boom that happened last year during the quarantine. So what happened is, because everybody was in their houses locked up, and they wanted some way to socialize, but they really couldn't. So what they started to do, they started to innovate. They started to make things up. How do we kind of socialize and sell products, hold conferences or whatever, virtually without meeting physically together? And what they came up with is that social VR actually solves most of the problems that occur due to not being able to meet together. And actually, before the quarantine, there was also quite a few social platforms like VR Chat, Rec Room, Altspace VR. Those were just kind of emerging, like sleeping giants. People were playing them, but nobody understood like where this is going. But during the quarantine, people started realizing that they can use these kind of social platforms not for only gaming, but for just basically socializing. So these metaverses, these social VR experiences, they're not made specifically for gamers. They're just made for people who like to socialize, which is most of the people. And so what started happening in the virtual worlds, in the virtual reality, is that people started holding events and conferences in VR. That means like somebody created a world, a 3D modeled world, invited people to come to the event, got some speakers to join who would like speak virtually, got some, as you can see, got some screens going on so you can show slides, you can show videos, and basically they invited people, welcome, please don't be shy and join. So what happened is basically they started to hold conferences virtually, which turned out very popular. People were flooding into these conferences. As you can see, these are not the events I've attended, but it kind of gives a good image of how they actually look like. So, and what happened? They actually really they recreate the experience of going to a live conference very well, because while you just sit listening to some speaker talk, right? After he finishes speaking, you go to the networking part and people can just connect, talk to each other, form circles, form whatever, and exchange information, gather contacts, which for the people whose works are like getting contacts and like expanding their business, this was like a no-brainer, and everybody started flooding and attending these conferences and holding them. What else happened was that people who were like producers, artists, creators, how do you say, actors, right? So they couldn't perform in real life because everything again was closed down. So what they started doing, they started making virtual kind of performances. They would log in this VR chat. VR chat platform is like the most popular one for virtual theater and other experiences. So what they did, the same way they import their own kind of a world, invite people, like, you know, you would go to Facebook and it would say, here, this is the event. Are you interested? Press interested, press going. So in VR chat, you just see an event and you can just press and just go right into that world and be there. So people would just make their own avatars, go rehearse in VR, figure out what kind of experience it's gonna be, and then they can charge people for the tickets, and you just basically do the some virtual theater. So it's like a very cool concept, because I actually participated in some of these virtual theater myself. So basically the actors are like the main characters of the story, but you are not a spectator, you're also kind of a character, a supporting cast, basically. So basically in this Pandora X, this is called a Pandora X theater, the one that I'm showing right now in the pictures. And basically this was, like, there's just some actors going saying, oh, let's go, let's take down this evil man who's like trying to control the whole universe. And the spectators who join up, they just say, yeah, yeah, and they just go together like a mass of fighters and do it. So they don't really actively change the story, but they're kind of a part of it. So this is also very popular. And also concerts and parties. So people meet up when they're kind of depressed, sad and alone. They go into these kind of parties. You can hear like beer cans opening, and people just kind of sit in concerts, listen to some music, and just be drunk and talk about things. It's usually very awkward, and lots of girl avatars are usually men, but I mean that's quite natural in the internet times, at least. So right now, you just kind of give you quite an overview of how with virtual reality you would get this kind of a experience of social interaction without being physically together. Next up, I'll just kind of try to give you a brief overview of what cryptocurrency is and what NFTs are. I'm sure most of you know what cryptocurrency is, but NFTs is another buzzword, just like Metaverse is. Everybody's talking about NFTs, and I just might as well just give you quite an overview of what it is, so you can follow the story correctly. So the thing is NFTs is basically, let me just, I'll just give you a little bit of a blockchain kind of a crash course in a couple of minutes. So basically what blockchain means is that you have decentralized system of money transferring, meaning that you don't need some bank to control where the transactions are, what money goes in and out. And basically whenever you make some money transaction, some crypto money to another person, the information goes out to everybody, and everybody who uses the blockchain, they know that this address send money to this address, and now this address has this much money, and the other address has this much money. And so basically everybody else knows how much money other people have, and so you don't need some centralized system to tell that. And that's where NFTs come in. So just like you can do these transactions with money, with in-game currency, you can do the same thing with contracts. That means you can sell pretty much anything you can think of. People are selling like their body parts, virtual body parts, let's say. They just kind of take a picture of their arm and say, hey, buy my arm. People just make up crazy things, but the thing is that you're not constrained on what you can sell. It's basically, now it's just like a wild west of people trying to sell whatever and seeing what do people buy and what do people care about. So for one example, I would like to use art, because art really got it through people's heads what NFTs mean, because it's like a revolution in art world. Like music, with electronic music was a revolution of music, right? Like dancing revolution was TikTok, and now the revolution of art is the NFTs. So what happens is that people who make digital art, they want to get money for that. It just makes sense. They put in some work, right? Their work is valuable, but if they want to sell their work online, they either have to like put some like disgusting watermarks, or else everybody just can still kind of Photoshop those watermarks out, and you have like a proper picture, and you can just press on any picture, press save image as, and that's it. You have your image ripped, and all the work the person's put in is free for everybody to consume. But the thing is with NFTs, you're not actually selling you're not actually selling a picture. What you're selling is a code. It's like some contract. So you imagine like some document, some Word document, and you just place an image as like representation of what I'm selling. I'm just putting up the image and saying this is what I'm selling. And the thing is, you cannot control prove ownership of who owns the image, but you can prove the ownership of who controls this code, this contract. Because whenever somebody puts up his NFT for sale, everybody knows that this address just created this contract, just the same way cryptocurrency like transactions wouldn't be made. Like this person just imported some Ethereum into his wallet. So the thing is that with this kind of concept anything. They just look different, a bit different, right? They just kind of, these are the images that have like certain looks. So for example, so what happened basically is that these guys like engineered a new way of selling NFTs. They don't just like make some art and sell it. They decided to go make 10,000 randomly generated people, and they said there's not going to be any more, there's not going to be any less. There's just 10,000 and that's it. Limited edition, right? Everybody is one of a kind, and there's limited edition. And the rules were like, there's like 50% the image is going to be a man, 50% is going to be a woman. There's also like between, in that 100%, there's also like 3% is going to be an alien or a zombie. So they made like the rules. Some, like, there's like, let's say 10%, an image can hold a cigarette, or it can have some VR glasses or whatever, maybe a pipe. So they just kind of made some rules, and when they just click generate, they made 10,000 NFTs. And so, and when they made them, they say you can just buy them. When they were bought from the store, they cost like $1,000 a piece. And people started really buying them up because the concept really worked. People really, it was very clear on what's rare and what's not rare, because you can see on every CryptoPunk, like this is CryptoPunk 69887, right? It shows like he's one of like 6,000 male punks, and there's like different assets of what he has. Like he has a top hat, he has a mole, right? And so it gives him like some sort of a rarity. And people just buy them because like currently buying them means that you have some authority. Like you're a rich person. You belong in the NFT community because when you buy it, you can put your Twitter username, profile picture to be your CryptoPunk and say, hey guys, I'm cool. Follow me, I'll follow you, I'm part of the community. So it's like a symbol of status owning one of the CryptoPunks. It doesn't really do anything, but it's just an OG. This is gonna go down in history as like some NFT that kind of revolutionized the game, saying that these are just randomly generated NFTs and collectibles. So these were very cool. So now I'm just gonna go into like virtual worlds and what NFTs mean. How do they integrate? Because for now, as you just understood, it's just like some images that don't do anything, but they cost thousands of dollars, right? Also, I would like to say, like, if I wanted to kind of show you the history. So if you would look on the right, you would see that in the down bottom, you would see like when it was minted, which address minted it, like created NFT. And from then up top, you would see whoever made a transaction. And whenever you buy, you have all the history of what the prices were when you bought them and things like this. So every NFT holds this information and you can access it publicly. Okay, so now let's go to the blockchain-based virtual worlds. It doesn't necessarily have to be virtual reality worlds, but it just makes sense because the metaverse, it just makes sense to, as like a social platform, it makes more sense to kind of be able to interact with each other using body language, not just like sound and chat. So I'm just gonna use all the virtual reality platforms because I think these are the ones that are gonna stick. So the thing is, I'm gonna give you this is my metaverse that I'm building, a virtual world. I'm building kind of like a virtual game studio. Whatever games I built, they're gonna be accessible right from this virtual platform. So you would kind of go in, be able to see other players and say, hey, let's go play some games together, maybe go visit some events. So like a small virtual world that I built. And the thing is, I made a very simple use case of what NFTs can do. So basically, as I said before, the NFTs are just code, right? They're just kind of a contract saying, hey, this is like some image. And the image is like representation, but what you're actually buying is code. That means this code can be used in games or whatever platforms you want, because they're code, you can kind of manipulate it, integrate it into something. So what I did is I just made some little gallery with some artworks that I made, some GIFs, MP4, like some videos, right? And basically people can buy my NFTs from the marketplace, and when they do, they're just gonna get the downloadable content. Basically, when you buy it, you can download the MP4 and have this video, right? But not only that, whenever somebody buys the NFT, it's gonna get, if you see like in those pictures, right? Below them is like some sort of how do you say, a panel with some things written on it. So basically, each NFT that I minted has like 10 copies. So I like minted 10 copies of each NFT that I have, right? So basically, whenever somebody buys an NFT, a name would appear, like who owns this NFT currently. So of course, everybody can rip the MP4, right? Everybody can rip the video and just own it, but because it's a code, I can integrate it with the metaverse to show that who actually owns the actually owns the piece. So it's like basically just like a proof of status, right? If you own it, this metaverse can prove that you're the only one who owns it. It's a very simple integration, but I'm sure this just kind of gets your kind of brain going where this can be used more. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go with more extreme examples of what are kind of the state-of-the-art NFT integrations mean. So basically there's a virtual world called Somnium Space. It's very niche. So basically, if you understand, VR is pretty niche still, right? Yeah, blockchain is very niche. So imagine if you combine a virtual world with blockchain, there's not many people who know about it. But the ones who do, they put a lot of money into this place. So their concept is that this is a virtual world where players own the world, where players own the space in it. So this is an image of the space that people can buy. So the same way people can buy like art, right? They can buy the same pieces of land. So you can just put in your marketplace saying, hey, we're selling these like thousands, whatever. I'm not sure if this is the thousands, like every green and red parcel is like a space in that world that they've built, right? And they can just say, we're selling, in the marketplace, we're selling pieces of land. They cost like up to like $10,000 each of the parcels. They're really like expensive. But currently like the people who are in this kind of a business, in these NFTs, there's just two types of people that I've currently found out. Is investors and creators. Creators just kind of trying to innovate, and investors are just buying the land and hoping these are going to pay off. So that when everybody goes in, they're going to be the ones who own the real estate, right? So they're just kind of just making gambles and putting the money for the creators to continue developing. So, but these, why I'm just going to give you a run through of why would it make sense to own this kind of a parcel. Yeah, basically what it means, like whenever you just buy an NFT land, right? The same way you buy any other NFT. I'm sure like I'm gonna go back a little bit to show you. An NFT land is just gonna like appear in your inventory. Like one of your inventory items is just gonna be saying you have this land, right? Some coordinates maybe and stuff. And basically you log in to this virtual world, you log in with your crypto wallet. Instead of logging in with your email and password, you log in with your crypto wallet. That immediately has your money inside it and immediately has all the inventory items inside it. And so when you go into this world, if you stumble across like the land that you own, or that you've bought, like the NFT is just gonna say your inventory item is this land, meaning that means that you, whenever like you can just enter the land freely without anything because you own this code, right? It's just your item of owning this land. And so what you can do in this land, you can basically import any models you want and shape the land to be whatever you please. So, and the developers can't do anything. You can do striptease club. You can like do whatever you want because the players own the world. They buy the parcels, they buy the land, so they say what are we gonna build in these lands. So this is just like one simple example. You can see like in the distance, it's just like a plain world where just something is happening. Like somebody built a tree somewhere far away, but it's just like it's not much content right now, but it just shows that what it can be after some time, right? So first of all, this is just like somebody wanted to build, like maybe he is an architect, maybe he just wants to show off the building he made, so he just kind of imported a 3D model. What else? Like I thought this was like the most coolest thing that happened in Somnium Space was that Burning Man, the virtual Burning Man was hosted in, because the physical one couldn't happen, so they hosted virtual one in Somnium Space. So basically somebody who owns a parcel, right? He said, hey, let's build it in my place. So maybe he just hired some people who built some 3D models, made the place look cool, right? And then basically, I'm not sure, I can't really say if this was a free event, but let's say it wasn't a free event, just so I can show you how this whole thing makes sense. So basically, you kind of create a thing of fear of missing out, right? You just say, hey, this is going to be a crazy event. All the cool people are going to come here, right? And the entrance to the event is going to be like, let's say $50 or whatever there is in Ethereum, right? 0.1, whatever. And so whenever when the event happens, you can come up to this place, like to this entrance of the event. And then basically, as I said, you have logged in with your crypto wallet. So you can just come up here and it says, entrance fee, $50. So you can just put your hand up. It makes a transaction, you lose your $50 from your account. Like there's no smart IDs, you don't need to confirm anything because your cryptocurrency is just like your in-game currency. So you just instantly pay money and you get your access to the world. So whoever has like the real estate, they can control the money source. They have like a money making machine and they just can make whatever people would like, right? And they can make money off of it and just kind of get their money back after the investment. Just like everybody just invests in the houses, and after some time they just start making money after you've paid the debts, right? And also, like the last one of the examples, I'm just checking how much time I got left. Oh, we're doing very good on time. So the last of the examples I would like to say is some guy just made a gallery, like a public access gallery. Everybody can go in and just check it out. He just built some model, right? A 3D model of a gallery, and he just posted some of his artworks. He's a classic, let's say classic blockchain NFT artist. So he just put up some of these artworks on the walls, and basically you can just go in and check out the artworks if you like them, and then you can just press on the artwork and immediately just buy. You don't need any like auctions, you don't need any contracts, any whatever, because you've already just logged in with your crypto wallet, right? So you just pay the same Ethereum and you own one of the artworks. So whenever somebody comes and looks at the art, it pops up like, this guy, Tumosa, owns this artwork. So if you want to buy it, you should contact him, right? Or maybe I even bought the artwork and immediately placed a bid of, okay, I bought it like for, let's say, $2,000, and I can immediately sell it for $3,000. So if anybody comes and feels this is worth $3,000, just click on it, and I'll get my $1,000 profit, and you can have your artwork. So it's like a free, money is flowing freely without any needs of transactions. Of course, one very bad thing with crypto wallet is that it's not protected by any banks naturally, right? Because it's just, as I said, decentralized. So if you lose your crypto wallet, there's nothing anybody can do. You can't just call bank and say, hey, please help me, I lost my ID. You can't lose your crypto wallet. You can be a millionaire here, but if you lose your money, it's not coming back. So if you want to make a crypto wallet, be very careful about it and try to make some sort of a backups with the codes. There's a system on how to do it, but basically it involves writing down codes physically and putting them somewhere. So even if your computer gets hacked or maybe something burns, you still have some physical evidence of your codes that you can recover your wallet. But yeah, it's quite a troublesome thing so far, and I'm not sure if it's gonna become better. Okay, so I'll just go to some of the games, because I'm a game developer myself. I believe in the future of blockchain gaming, and I'm just going to use a simple example. I'm sure everybody here knows what Pokemon is, right? It's a very classic game. Even if you didn't play, if you didn't watch any shows, you should know the Pokemon are just animals that you train, level up, and fight each other, and they're just collectible. There's now there's 1,000 of them, but basically they're collectible creatures. So what happened is that these some team made a game called Pokemon VR, and it wasn't like a fan-made Pokemon game. It wasn't an official game. I'm sorry, I would like some water. If you would excuse me, I'll just pour some water. I'm getting very dry now. I forgot it before, sorry. Thank you for patience. Right. So creators of Pokemon VR, they got banned by Nintendo because they got very popular, and Nintendo just came to crack them down and say that's it, finish up, because this was the most popular game in the unofficial store. They had a huge community, so they just shut down the Pokemon VR and they reinvented them to become Revamon, blockchain Pokemon. They have the same formula, but instead of classic original Pokemon, they have their own made knockoff Pokemons, right? But they have this formula of already being able to give gameplay and show that this is a real game that is going to be played. So yeah, so basically these Pokemon are NFTs the same way land is NFTs or artworks are NFTs. So basically you can just catch some Pokemon, you can train him, level him up, right? Let's say this Pikachu. You can level him up, and then you can just basically sell it. Of course, I think you would get kind of attached to your Pokemon, but they are NFTs, so they can be traded, they can be sold, you can fight with them, right? And the thing is that with these NFTs in games, contrary to how it was with the other games, if you own some sort of a sword in game, or let's say a Pokemon in Pokemon VR game, if it was just a regular Pokemon VR game, these Pokemon would belong in the database of the game, of the creators, right, of the servers. The people who made the Pokemon VR, they're gonna actually own the Pokemons, right? So even if you trade Pokemons inside the game, they would just move in the same environment and that's all. But because these Pokemon are NFTs, you can put them up in the marketplace, not of the Pokemon VR marketplace. You can just put them up in the blockchain marketplace the same way, and you can, let's say you're bored of playing Pokemon VR, so you can just take your Pokemon, you can sell them and buy some other game's assets for it. So the assets in the game, in this case Pokemon, they're not constrained to the game. They're constrained to like the whole blockchain. You can trade it for other games' assets. So it's like these assets are like the same, like just NFTs, right? Just the same contract. So let's say my feeling is that people are going to be able to make money. We're going to create virtual jobs, because if you know, like in these times, lots of work, lots of jobs are getting automatized, right? Automated, and people are losing their jobs. And I'm thinking that by taking the power of like this virtual reality plus blockchain technologies, we can create countless of virtual jobs that were previously like just magic, right? It just wouldn't be possible. But now, in this case, we can have actual like professional Pokemon trainers as a profession. Nobody would expect that as an esports kind of a Dota, League of Legends gamer, you can make money and you can have like a job, but you can see like young people are having their careers playing esports, and nobody's thinking that it's crazy right now. Only like the boomers who don't know anything about games, they still think it's crazy, but I mean, what can you do? So what I'm thinking is that some people are gonna become the actual, as I said, Pokemon trainers, professional Pokemon trainers who earn money by just being good trainers, by being good sportsmen. So what they do, they spend their days not going to work. They spend their days training their Pokemon. And I'm also thinking these Pokemon, I'm just going a little bit off script now, but I'm thinking with machine learning, you can have the Pokemon who are like actual animals, who are not just, you level them up by grinding, right? And they just unlock new powers instantly. But if you have like a machine learning based Pokemon, you would just need to talk to him, and he's gonna like remember your voice. And if somebody else talks to him, he's not gonna react because like he's learned to use your voice as a reference. And for example, you can say, "Hey Pikachu, do tackle," or "do thunderbolt," right? And the Pikachu can just look at you, "Man, I don't know what any of these words mean." So maybe you would need to like to show that do tackle, or do like maybe you would need to everybody can have like their own way of teaching Pokemon stuff. But basically, let's say I want my Pikachu to do Thunderbolt. So let's say I would just say, "Hey, do Thunderbolt," whatever, no? Whatever. So and let's say randomly the Pikachu shoots out some electric light, right? He just does perfect Thunderbolt. So what I can do, I can take out my Poke Snack, and I can give the snack to Pokemon saying, "Congratulations, that's exactly what I needed you to do." And now he's gonna remember that because he got a reward after hearing Thunderbolt and maybe some hand signal, he's gonna remember now that whenever you do some signal, say Thunderbolt, he's gonna do Thunderbolt, and he's gonna be rewarded with a Poke Snack. And so that you can actually make your own Pokemon, your actual pets, that every Pokemon can be like trained individually, right? And that's a little off script, but I found it very fascinating that you can have machine learning Pokemon that act as actual animals, because animals, like at the end of the day, they're very simple, right? They're based on instincts, on having food, on learning a few words. So it's actually very easy to make them bots, AI bots. Okay, and I'll get back to the here. So let's say I'm a professional Pokemon trainer who knows how to have like the most amazing skills a Pokemon can learn, like some Fire Spin, Magma, Delta, some amazing powers, right? And everybody wants to see them because not everybody can teach their Pokemon those things because it's very hard, right? So the people who spend their days training their Pokemon, they actually become like super cool trainers. And what they do, they can have like some sponsorships from whatever, let's say like Razer, or like those mouses or whatever. You can have like sponsorships from wherever, saying that the Pokemon VR game, this game is gonna hold some tournaments every month, let's say, right? And people in VR, or in just the computer, they can just log in and buy their tickets to attend these tournaments. You pay more money, you get the front seats. You pay less money, you get the back seats. But you're in virtual reality, seeing other people as spectators. You can like do emojis, you can shout for your favorite players, and you can see those players in the arena with some sponsored like Razer outfits, right? All the virtual outfits. They can just interact with the crowd, and they just kind of fight each other. And basically, they get money for sponsors, right? Sponsors are getting money because there's lots of people watching, and they kind of tie the Pokemon trainer to the brand, right? So just is like the same kind of money-making way. So just everybody wins, but some people lose, of course. That's not natural how it happens. Yeah, just one picture of how the fighting would happen, the same way as in Pokemon anime or whatever. So what I'm thinking with like the whole metaverse thing is that these like Somnium Space, these Pokemon VR, these basically are just worlds, right? People would call them metaverses because it's a buzzword and it makes sense to call them metaverse. But basically, metaverse is all the virtual worlds combined. It's like an internet. Like you can't call your website like clothing brand shop a website. You can't call it an internet, right? It is on the internet and you can access it through the mysterious ways, right? But it's just a website. So what I'm thinking, these virtual worlds are just virtual worlds, but it's just hard to get them off the tongue. So we call them metaverses because it's cool. It sounds cool. So what I'm thinking is that instead of like this Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, whatever kind of a browser, we would have a virtual browser, like some application where when you can just put on the headset, have like your virtual internet, like whatever app, and the same way you could walk through websites. You can just maybe use your virtual hand, and you can just walk the same way through the virtual world. So you can just 1 second be in some like RuneScape world, and you can just kind of, a friend gives you a notification, hey, I'm in this Pokemon world, would you like to kind of train Pokemon together? Yeah, sure. So you would kind of enter www.pokemon.com, let's say, for example, and you can just go between the worlds the same way you would go between the websites. So, and everybody, I'm sure, is very tired of having to log in with your emails every time. Like you need to create new emails, log in everywhere, get the same notifications into your emails, right? It's just quite a bothersome thing to be able to have to remember every password, to have your login everywhere. But the thing is, with the crypto wallet, you will only have one login. Like if you make more crypto wallets, then sure, you can have multiple accounts, right? But your crypto wallet is going to be the one. You will need only one way to log in to any place. So even now, if you would go to like any marketplace, NFT marketplace, some notification jumps saying, hey, log in with your crypto wallet right now. So you just enter your username and password, and that's it. You logged in with your same wallet. You don't need you don't need to tie your account to the database. You just kind of use the same crypto wallet to log in everywhere. So basically, you would log in into this metaverse with your crypto wallet, and you would have like your own NFT avatar. I'm thinking like you would the same way you have your username in the internet, right? Everybody is known by the usernames, right? So additionally, in the metaverse, we will have our usernames on top of our heads, and we will also be like associated with some sort of an avatar. We can choose whatever. We can like buy NFT, like different skins. Maybe we can use default ones. Maybe we can just have some clothing, right? I think clothing brands are gonna win a lot by adding it. So I'm thinking like I would be like some sort of avatar, and I can go to different world, and I would maintain looking like the same person. So I can play any game looking as the same person. So and what I'm thinking, what will be happening in the metaverse is that people could be able to there can be a virtual world for shopping kind of centers, right? So you would go in some, let's say, Nike.com, right, world, and there would be a real person, virtual avatar with some skin saying, hey, hello, how can I help you? Are you looking for shoes? Are you looking for anything else, right? And so you can just kind of hang out, see other people in the multiplayer world looking at the clothing, maybe buying for themselves. It's like it's a whole like multiplayer experience, right, of just going to different websites and seeing other people interact the same way. And I'm thinking that with the clothing can also be NFTs. So basically, do you know like this concept of hype beasts? So they buy expensive clothing, the limited edition clothing, let's say Supreme, right, or like Balenciagas, whatever, right? They buy expensive clothing that is limited edition. Let's say there's going to be like only 3,000 of them available in the world, right? And there's going to be no more. So what they do, the people go fast, rush to the stores, wait in line, buy their pair of shoes, right? And what they do, they just vacuum it. They don't use it at all because they're gonna wear and tear, right? And they need to maintain their quality. So what they do, they just kind of stash the shoes somewhere and hope their price will increase. Well, with NFT shoes, you can have the same thing of minting 3,000 pairs of shoes, right? So, but whenever somebody buys them, they will own that those shoes in their inventory, the same way they own like their lands, their Pokemon or whatever. So they can just, when they log in in the metaverse, they can just select out of the shoes they have in the inventory what kind of shoes they want to wear. So they can wear those super expensive limited edition shoes without having their condition get worse over time. So you can just put on your shoes, go to any concert, party, and you can look cool. Everybody knows you have expensive clothes on, and the quality of those shoes are not going down because they're virtual shoes, right? Unless somebody is very evil and saying that each hour you spend using the shoes durability is gonna go by 1% each time. So then you would need to pay to kind of renew the shoe, right? It can happen, of course. So like it's all up to people who are making these things. And also, like, you can meet somebody in the clothing shop saying, hey, my friend, it's been a while, maybe let's go play some games. They just kind of catch up. So you can go to like our kind of metaverse to play some games, interact with each other, and have fun. And also, as I'm coming back to like this Pokemon kind of example, is that, with the Pokemon example, is that not only trainers can make money. Of course, I'm meaning that the biggest kind of a source of making money in games will be MMOs. If you know MMORPGs, like RuneScape's, World of Warcraft, they're dead. Like people are saying MMOs are dead, right? Nobody's playing them because they're grindy. They're just going to take a lot of time. And what's the point, right, of leveling up? So they're going to make their own kind of a closed ecosystems of blockchain kind of currency. So each MMO currency will be cryptocurrency. So whenever you make some money in the game, you can just immediately transfer it to Ethereum or whatever. It's going to be like the same kind of crypto token. So they're going to have their own kind of a closed ecosystems where they just kind of trade money. Some people can be like professional dragon slayers. They can have like some cool gear, and they meet with their guys and say, okay, let's go make some money. And they go like to some wilderness, slay the dragons, and then sell the dragon skins to whomever needs the skins to make some archer armor, right? And everybody like wants to sell stuff and make the transactions go faster, and so like everybody then kind of becomes rich playing the game. Of course, some get richer, some just kind of get cents, pennies. And what I'm thinking with Pokemon, it can be like, because I want to go back on this kind of a topic. So I'm thinking like one person can be a trainer, right? But let's say a trainer becomes super popular. He doesn't have time to train his Pokemon anymore because he has to go like to some meetings, to some like showcases, be cool, right? He doesn't have any more time to train. So what there can be, like some other people can be, let's say, traders who look for some expensive rare Pokemon, and they contact the trainer saying, hey, I have this amazing price for this Pokemon. Would you be interested in buying, right? And the trainers can say, yeah, of course, I'm gonna buy this Pokemon, right? So the trainers have value from the traders because they just make it very convenient for them to own some Pokemon. Also, they can be breeders who are maybe they're not fighting Pokemon, they're just catching a few Pokemon and then making them breed. So making some Pokemon that can learn some special powers that wouldn't be able to do otherwise, right? So there would be also some rare Pokemon that the traders would buy from the breeders. And the last one, let's say gatherer. So you can just be playing the game, walking around with your Pokemon, not actually making any money, but let's say you stumble across some like stone, some like lightning stone, or like whatever like expensive stone that can be used to evolve Pokemon. So what you can do is just go to the marketplace, put up the stone, sell it for like $50, right? And the breeders are gonna buy them from you because they needed to kind of make the Pokemon cool so they can sell it to the trader. So it's like a loop of everybody wants to buy and sell to each other. And so making like this ecosystem of moving money, and so it's just like the same kind of principle of the real world, just with the cryptocurrency. Well, I guess that's a lot of information, but just for the last thing, I would recommend you kind of look into this Webverse. I found it very fascinating. This is a project of trying to make the metaverse have virtual worlds in the same platform in the internet. So it's WebXR technology, meaning that you can go to like the internet, Google Chrome, right? You put up your headset and you can just, WebXR is basically being able to use virtual reality in the internet, right? So without needing to download anything. So basically they're building a platform where you just put on your headset and you can go through like the websites and go through different kind of worlds while being in the same Webverse. So they're building what I'm talking about as a as an like open world. Anybody can create their own world and put it into the Webverse, like as another feature. And one amazing thing that these guys made, like they're trying to make it, I'm not sure how is this going to be possible, but what they're saying, they want to make some sort of a standardized asset system, some sort of this thing, and it means that you can have like, get some item, let's say a gun, right? Let's say you get some gun, which you can shoot around in some game. And basically what they mean is that you can take this gun to another world, well, let's say Pokemon world. You can take out the same gun from the other kind of a Call of Duty world, and you can try shooting in the Pokemon world, using an item from different world where it doesn't belong. So like they want to make this kind of an open metaverse of items being created in some worlds, but they can be transferred to other worlds. So just assets are not constrained, as I said, to one world. They're constrained to the whole blockchain. You can just trade items on a bigger scale than ever. And I guess that concludes my talk. So if anybody has any questions, I would gladly take any of them. Thanks.
Am I? Yeah. So first of all, now I want to do a Metaverse game jam. So anyway, is there anyone with questions? We still do have time. No questions for now. Well, one thing that came into my mind while you were talking was you just extend your hand and you pay. Can you pay by accident?
I mean, sure, you could pay by accident, but it's just a matter of UX design, right? So you would kind of need to put your hand up. It needs to kind of some circle loads for like 5 seconds. So if you kind of get distracted and place your hand for 5 seconds, like you might buy, right? But there can be like other things, like you need maybe to put both of your hands up and then maybe close your eyes or whatever. Like you can just make some sort of a UX system as to make the chance of paying by accident as little as possible. It's just a matter of design, right? Because like in the games, like whatever, you have some things accidentally happen, and it's a matter of just how to make it so that the percentage of accidents happening is as little as possible. Yeah. But yes, it makes sense. You can actually make accidental trades and buy things that you did not intend to, and you would lose your actual money from that.
So you said there's no unified bank system for that. So I accidentally pay. How do I get my money back?
That's it. That's it. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's it. So it's basically with a crypto wallet, it has lots of perks of like being able to send money freely. Like your money is like your in-game money. You don't need to like pay money, like the usual case is like you would go to some game, you want to import some money so you can buy assets, right? So you need to like, with the credit card, you would need like to put the money up in your account, and just kind of a tedious process. And with these games, like you would just log in with your crypto wallet that immediately has that money. So maybe you would log in and then you can just maybe exchange it. Maybe you're inside a game and you just says, hey, exchange these Ethereum for these Zen tokens, right? Yeah. So it was just like an easy transaction that is one click away. So I'm hoping that answers the question. I think I got a little off the rails with it. I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, and actually one more thing is that these games that use blockchain are called, if you know, like the systems are like free to play, right? Pay to play. And this new system that is used for blockchain games, meaning that play to earn, not free to play, pay to play, is called play to earn. And so I'm thinking that with these games coming up, with the blockchain games, it's not necessarily that people are going to become rich playing the games, but maybe these kinds of games are going to eliminate the concept of microtransactions, of in-game ads. So you wouldn't need like paying monthly fee to play some World of Warcraft. You wouldn't need to watch 30-second ads by playing some mobile game, right? You would just kind of make money by the company's going to make money by in two cases, I think. First of all, one case is going to be that when you before playing the game, there's the terms and agreement that nobody reads, right? These things you press I accept and you move on, right? So I'm thinking in these terms of an agreement, it's going to be said that whenever you play this game, whatever power your computer has that is not used for the game, we're going to use it to mine Bitcoin or whatever, right? Mine whatever token it is. So basically, when you're playing, your computer is burning electricity, and you're paying with your electrical bill. Let's say the company is making money by you grinding while playing, and it's up to you if what you're playing is efficient enough to earn more money than what you use by paying your electrical bill, right? So I think there's one way of charging customers, and the other way I think is going to be, I think, more natural, and I think it's already happening right now, is that it's just a tax fee. So two things in life are how do you say, are eternal. Is death, it's going to happen whatever way. It's death and taxes. I'm sure that I said it wrong, but basically everybody like uses a tax system. So what I'm thinking, like inside these MMO games, what's it going to be is that whenever players are making some transaction, right, somebody's paying money to buy some sword, 2% of the transaction is going to go to the creators, right? It's like a bank system. So it's going to be like a centralized system inside a decentralized world. So that's what I'm thinking. So this would eliminate in-game ads, eliminate all the like traditional ways of charging players for playing the game. So everything essential would be free, but you would like your pay would be, you would pay by time. The same way people are making money, right? They're selling their time. The games would be exactly the same way. Companies would be interested in having people play, because the more people play, the more money is moving around, the more liquid the tokens are, and so everybody is, the company is more successful then when there's more transactions going on. So I'm thinking that players are finally going to like be paying with their time, not with money.
Right. Is there anyone here with any additional questions? So you also said this is very niche. Do you have like any sort of numbers, like members in the Somnium or anything like that? How niche is it? How many members?
I mean, I'm not sure. Like Somnium Space has like what I know is that they have like in Twitter they have like 10-20,000 followers. So it's not like there's this like super unknown. Like, people know it, but the thing is, the problem is that nobody is going inside VR and spending time in VR. So whenever I come in, there's like 2 people online, because there's not much content, right? People only come up when there's like some official event saying, hey, we're doing this official event, come in for 1 hour. And then just like 100 people, like maybe 50, 100 people comes in to be here. But if you just want to come in and just like look around and see what's happening, it's nothing's happening yet, because like there's too little content, too little dopamine rush for you to like walk around planes and look around. Like it's just not much content. So basically, this platform is like made just for the buzz, to show that we actually have something. But all the content that's going on is basically just like Twitter saying, hey, invest, buy the lands, because the bigger we get, the more expensive it's going to be. But for now, like the whole platform is not that popular, because there's not much people in it. But what I will say, what I know, it surprised me a lot, is that VR chat actually has like every day, like it usually has like around 10,000 concurrent users. So 10,000 people at the same time playing VR chat, which really surprised me. I thought it was going to be lower number. But like 15,000, like it just depends on like the time of the month. Like during the quarantine, it was like 30,000 people at the same time. So VR chat is super popular, and it shows that when people can be in the metaverse, create their own content, it makes like people are, it makes sense for them to be there if they can make money. For example, as I said, VR theater, right? You can make some theater. So what you can do is make some sort of a space where it needs some code to enter, and they say, hey, go to Eventbrite, buy the ticket, and with the ticket you're going to get this code. And with this code you can enter the world. So people are incentivized to make content because they're getting paid actually for making that content. And also, like, even if what I kind of understood, that money is before, money was like the most important factor. Money ruled the world, and now I'm thinking that followers are ruling the world, because money is just like a resource, right? That kind of or just kind of a resource. While having followers, a person who has followers, or a company that has lots of followers, it's like a money printing machine. You just kind of have followers. You can just say, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that, and just people are just gonna like put the money for you, give you the money. So while you have the followers, or you have the influence, you can make any money. So even like in VR chat, a lot of people are just kind of showcasing their features. For example, there's some programmer saying, hey, I made this a feature of being able, that's what I tried. So they made a feature of saying, we have a feature where you can do the Kamehameha. You know Dragon Ball? Kamehameha? So basically, like the guy said, hey, I built this feature where you can go into this world and try out Kamehameha Wave. So basically you would go in, put your hands, controllers behind your back, press for a few seconds, and then extend, and the wave would shoot out. So people are very, very excited for that. People just kind of spend their time inside the place. And basically, and what they do is in that space, they have some text saying, hey, I hope you liked this experience. Follow me for more. Follow me, maybe Patreon me, help me out. So basically people just created content not only to get money, but to kind of get some people to come in and be inside whatever somebody created, you know, like it being so you have, it kind of creates a bond with the creator, right? Like you're inside of what he's been building around.
Yeah.
So I think that's why VRChat is popular. But for the blockchain games, it just needs time. The first games that are gonna become popular, just like X Infinity, you know, just like mobile games with blockchain capabilities, because because with VR still being a niche, it's gonna be very hard to get. I'm just talking about like the end game of living inside virtual worlds, but it's not gonna come soon. But you will see. It's gonna start with the mobile games, I think, first,
Yeah.
and it's gonna move on.
Okay, I think it is time to move on, and thank you so much.
Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for not sleeping in the morning.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.